Afternoon Live. Multi-generational travel is on the rise, but how can we ensure that everyone enjoys the trip? Here with her tips, we welcome back family travel content creator Guiomar Ochoa. It's great to see you.
Hi, Hannah. How are you? It's good to see
I'm
you.
good. Let's talk about traveling with the whole family. We're talking kids, grandparents, everyone. How do you find the balance in planning where you're not over planning and leaving some flexibility on the table?
So, Hannah, I think especially coming out of the pandemic, people realized how important it is to spend time with the people you love, right? There were so many years and months that we were apart from our loved ones. And so I think people are realizing that the best way to do that, especially if you don't live close to each other, is to travel together. And there's been a huge uptick in multi-generational travel because of that. And look, there's so many benefits to it. Honestly, we just did it with our family. And especially if you have younger children and you're traveling with grandparents, at least the parents get a little bit of respite and maybe, some babysitting thrown in there. But it's just such a great experience. Travel really expands the imagination, and it's wonderful for grandparents and parents to see that in their kids and the younger generation.
Yeah, it is a really special way to bond if you can kind of manage everyone. So let's talk about managing expectations, right? Everybody's going to want something different. How do you kind of plan for all the different age groups you're accommodating?
So honestly, the best vacations to do for multi-generational travel are like all-inclusive resorts or cruises, something where you have things planned. And you need something where you have activities for, you know, people of all energy levels. So obviously take accessibility into consideration, but make sure that there's something for younger kids to do, like toddlers, but also teenagers and tweens, and then grandparents, obviously. So the key is to really keep everyone engaged and have them come together at some point during the day. So for us, that was dinner time. So everybody sort of did their own thing during the day. And then at night, we would always come together and have dinner together and talk about the experiences that we had. And it was great to get everybody's perspective and just have fun with each other.
That is such a fun way to travel as a family and yeah, really share that unique time together. How do you manage though, I guess, if you're able to maintain any level of spontaneity where you're not planning out every single waking moment of your trip?
I think you just really kind of go with the flow, and just see how everybody feels on any given day. I mean, sometimes you're going to have, things that are planned. We just went on a Holland America cruise to the Caribbean. And so we had, like my dad and my husband and my son went on a classic car ride throughout the Dominican Republic. And then I went with my mother-in-law and my daughter just kind of walking around the town. So it's really how everybody feels. And then we had some people that just wanted to sit by the pool, and that's fine. And that's why a cruise is like a perfect option here, because you can just go to the beach and throw yourself on the beach, or you can do something fun and like rent an ATV if you want. So it really kind of depends on the energy levels. But I would definitely just keep the spontaneity. Obviously, make sure that everybody's safe and happy, but do what you want to do during the day, but just make sure that there's a time when everybody comes together during the day.
And you do have to kind of maintain your patience in terms of things can go wrong. You might have a bad weather day and have to readjust and making sure you don't lose your cool because you're on vacation. You're supposed to relax at least a little bit, hopefully.
Absolutely. And for us there were rooms, or there was like a kids lounge so the kids could go there. My son loved it because they had like, all the PlayStation stuff so he could play video games and he made new friends. And then there were also places where you could play puzzles or you could play board games, or there was a library. So my mom loved it. She got some mystery novels and she got to read, and she never has time to do that. So it was really a great opportunity for everybody to relax, and have some alone time, but also come together as a family. And I loved that.
Now, when you're looking into a cruise, because different ships have different amenities and they're different sizes, right? Those Holland America ships aren't quite as large and overwhelming as some of the bigger brands. What are some things that you're looking for specific to your family?
So for us, it was perfect. There were about 1,500 passengers on this particular ship, the New Statendam, and that was perfect because the ship was manageable. It wasn't too huge. I mean, you're not going to find slides and the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
here. We did have a couple of pools. The kids loved that. But it really depends on what your family needs are. We found that to be just more manageable as far as size, and also just the size of the ship, because you do have to walk a lot around the ship. And we had about 4 people that were over 80. We didn't want them walking like, 4 miles a
Yeah.
day just to get to dinner. So this was the perfect size for us because it was manageable. Everybody could find each other, and it was just, it was the perfect size for us. But there are much bigger ships also. It depends on what your ability level is too.
Right. Lots of options, lots of different ways to adventure with the whole family. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It was great to see you.
Thanks, Hannah. Have a great summer, everyone.
Thank you. You too. We'll have these tips and more about Guiomar on our website at katu.com.